Did you think I was gone forever?
Hello and welcome to the 101st episode of the Retrotopia podcast. My name's Alan and today we are going to be talking to you about the winner of our Patreon pick poll boomer shooter poll thingy, Duke Nukem 3D. That's right, we put the vote out to our Patreons. We had some good games on that list as well, but our boy Duke, he beat all the competition to come out on top, as is usual. Before we get into the episode though, we're going to do a little bit of talking to the Patreons, comments, gentleman's interlude, plugs, all of that shit. So if you're just here for the Duke Nukem talk, then why not just spin on about 20-25 minutes down the road and we'll probably be talking about Duke Nukem. Before we give Duke his love though, I need to get a few plugs out of the way first, so if you'll indulge me. You can find all things Retrotopia at linktree/Retrotopia, that's linktr.ee/Retrotopia. You can find all of our social media platforms so you can like and share to your heart's content. You can find our Dashery TeePublic, our merch store there with all of our wonderful Retrotopia designs. Really cool stuff. Brian puts most of those things together, and I have to say they look pretty damn fresh. What else? You can find our Discord, which we heartily encourage you to join because it's a wonderfully non-toxic corner of the internet where we all get together to talk about games and movies and comics and all sorts. It's a genuine good time, and we'd love to have you on board. You can find our Patreon as well, which is free to join at our free tier, funnily enough, where you get access to the backlog of all of our extra shows like Quick Play, a mini review episode, bi-weekly episode where either Sam, Brian, or myself will pick a game without perhaps the meat for a full episode of Retrotopia and just talk about it for 20 minutes to half an hour or so, which is a nice little bump for you. You can listen to our Retro Bites, which is a gaming discussion show, which is undergoing a little bit of a change at the moment. Maybe for the better, but we'll see about that. I mean, we've got wild card Joe Fettuccini along for the ride now, so we'll see how that goes. I can't imagine that he's going to bring the overall quality of this thing down any further than it already is. So welcome aboard, Joe Fettuccini. You can also what else? On Patreon, you can vote in polls. You can write into the host of the week. You can comment on the game of the week as well, and much more. We also have a $2 tier of Patreon where obviously you get all of the above. You get access to our New Game Plus series, which roughly about once a month, either again Sam, Brian, and myself will talk about one of the more new games that we've been playing recently and give that a review. So that's a good time. That being said, it's not just games. I think Sam recently did one about the Dragon Quest manga. So it's just kind of what we want to talk about that doesn't fit with the main theme of the show. At the $2 tier as well, you also get a shout out on the show, and we have one this week. So a huge Retrotopia thank you to our newest hero tier Patreon, Ovindoli. Ovindoli? I'm not sure how I'm supposed to say that, so I'm going to go with Ovindoli. 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 Sounds Italian. I like it. Welcome aboard, buddy. Thanks for stopping by, and we appreciate your support. So, we've got a lot to get to today before we get into Duke Nukem, so I'm just going to kick it over to our 9-bit banter box because it is culturally kick-ass. Alright then, and first up on the banter box and asking the real questions is Blue Yoshi 94, who says, Alan, I have a real question for you. Which is correct? A. Salt and vinegar, blue, and cheese and onion, green. Or B. That, but vice versa. So we are talking about the colour of crisp pack or chip packets over there, and there is an answer to this, and cheese and onion is green, salt and vinegar is blue. I don't know why Walkers decide to do it the other way around, where salt and vinegar is green and cheese and onion is blue. It does not make sense to me. Cheese and onion is green, okay? And vinegar is blue. I can't explain it, but that's just the way it is. Vinegar is blue. I mean, it tastes blue. I can't explain it. An onion tastes green. I mean, green onions, right? I mean, that's just the way it should be. Yeah, I feel very passionate about this and have done for pretty much my entire life. So thank you. Thank you, Yoshi, for giving me a chance to vent. Cheese and onion is always green. Also, pretty much my favourite flavour of crisps is cheese and onion. So very passionate about that one. Brother Retro says, Ali boy, I need a gentleman's bourbon recommendation. What you got? P.S. I missed the banter box for episode 100 somehow, so congrats and thank you to all three of you for making such an awesome podcast. Here's to 100 more. Thank you very much, Brother Retro. That's very kind of you. Bourbon. I don't drink a lot of bourbon. I am far more a single malt whiskey kind of a guy. That being said, I do quite like Maker's Mark. Is that a bourbon? I feel like it is. I'm just gonna, you know what? I'm gonna look that up live and just double check. But I had a bottle of that, a good few years ago now. It's the one it has the bottle that looks like it, well, it is dipped in wax and very classy. Yeah, small batch bourbon whiskey, produced in Loretto, Kentucky. So I'm gonna go with Maker's Mark. I used to be like a Jack Daniels kind of guy, but is that considered a bourbon? I don't think it is. I don't know. If it's not single malt, then I'm pretty not knowledgeable about it. But I'm going to say Maker's Mark. Classy bottle, classy bourbon. Sharkbite says, can you give us any insight into the gentleman's interlude? As in, what do you come up with first? Does the voice come first? Thank you, Sharkbite. I think that's the first time anyone's ever asked about that. So, I will give you a peek behind the curtain. So, the gentleman's interlude, easy enough for me to say, is it's always first and foremost themed around the game itself. So if there's a very obvious theme or voice or something that kind of fits with the overall feel of the game, that will sort of dictate the voice that I use for the gentleman's interlude, for better or worse. If I'm getting basically nothing off of it, then I will just revert to the standard gentleman's voice. It's just very pompous, because that's kind of where the whole thing started in the first place. But otherwise I will look to sort of the theme of the game for inspiration and sort of work from there. So I guess you could say the voice comes first. If there's I haven't even done the gentleman's interlude for Duke Nukem yet, so I'm almost certain it will probably be some kind of, I don't know, Team U Duke Nukem attempt. We'll see how that goes. But thanks for asking, Sharkbite. Appreciate the interest. Radmac, coming in hot, Radmac, with the question: do you eat ass? And if not, why? I don't think I've ever eaten ass. Certainly not knowingly. I've eaten a lot of meat in the past. There was a bit of a scandal in the UK, many years ago now, where some of those microwavable lasagnas were, I think, proven to have like horse meat in them, which was a huge deal at the time. So, but I don't really eat a lot of ready meals, so no, I probably haven't eaten ass, which, for the record, we usually call donkey over here. So I don't think I've ever eaten donkey. Would I try it? Maybe. It's just never come up. I'm sure that's what you meant by the question. If not, let me know. I can't imagine any other sinister or alternative meanings to that question. So thank you very much, Radmac. Captain Hooley says, Alan, good sir, do you enjoy Bring Me the Horizon? Also, top 3 favourite bands, and go. Hooley, I do enjoy Bring Me the Horizon quite a lot. I listened to, I think, Suicide Season, I think that's the name of the album, was the first one that I listened to. I'm not a huge fan of their work before that, just a little bit too death metal for me. But yeah, everything from sort of Suicide Silence, There Is a Hell, believe me, I've seen it. Great album. Um, do you know what? I think they are genuinely coming out with some of their best work at the moment, though. Oh fuck, what are they calling their new albums? There's a series of them. The one that came out sort of around, I think it's Post-Human or something like that. The one that came out around about lockdown with Dear Diary, Ludens, Kingslayer. Oh my god, all of that shit. That is pretty much a perfect fucking album. I don't care. I mean, I think Bring Me the Horizon are one of those bands that gets an unnecessary amount of hate, and I am not ashamed to say that I really like their music. I think they're always trying something new and something interesting, and I'm here for it. Yeah, good shit. And as for my top 3 favorite bands, that could change on a weekly basis, but I'll have to say Coheed and Cambria. Almost certainly there every single time. Big Coheed fan. Def Leppard. I was brought up on Def Leppard from fucking birth. And for a third, I don't know. Could be interchangeable. I mean, I want to say Him. Historically, that's been a band that I've always enjoyed, but yeah, you know what? I think for my teenage years, I'll say Him, but you know, I could put Electric Callboy in there, or I could put fucking all sorts in there. So the third slot is interchangeable. Thank you, Captain Hooley. Next up, The Big Deal says, in a dream scenario where you have a Mega Drive, Mega CD, and Mega 32X, as I assume you'd call it across the pond, we do, what additional hardware would you Frankenstein into it in order to make it as powerful as a Dreamcast? I did have that entire setup when I was a kid, and I think that is the peak of gaming. I don't think we've ever reached those heady heights ever again. So what would I add to that? I mean, the Dreamcast kind of has those funky memory cards that live inside of the controller, so we'd need something at least comparable. So what I'm going to say the controllers to that wonderful homunculus there is each controller is a Game Gear. So you've got a screen there. I guess that would kind of make it a bit more like the Wii U, I suppose. So the Game Gear there, but have the Game Gear so that the batteries don't die within like 20 minutes would be lovely. I would have some sort of attachment on it where you could play Master System games as well, because then you've pretty much got almost all of the Sega stuff going on one system. Presumably the Mega CD can now play Dreamcast games as well. I don't know, what else? I can't think of anything else. Yeah, give me those big chunky Game Gears as controllers. Yeah, Master System compatibility, and you've got the ultimate Sega console. Thank you. And finally, Philip, my mouth with farts, says, why can't I find Amanda Huggin? Why can't I find Amanda Huggin Kiss? Philip, maybe it's because your standards are too high. Yeah, so, you know, do better. Stop being a snob. Thanks everyone for writing in. That was awesome. Let's move on to our next section, which is, of course, the Retrotopia game show where everybody loses. Choose one, lose one. Ladies and gentlemen, roll up and choose your power-up from the game of the week. You pick a power, we pick a consequence. It's Choose One, Lose One, the game where everyone's a loser. Alrighty, let's get into Choose One, Lose One. So first up, we've got Brother Retro, who says, I want balls of steel. Done, Brother Retro, but the thing is you didn't specify about what size those balls needed to be, so now you have ball bearings, very, very tiny ball bearings instead of the big old clangers that I think you're expecting. So enjoy your tiny, tiny balls. Fallen Snow Kiku says, I'd love the power to slightly heal myself by using the toilet. Done. You can heal yourself by using the toilet, but now that is your system of healthcare, and I don't know where you live. So assuming you live in America, you now have to pay to go to the toilet in order to heal yourself. If you live anywhere with free healthcare, well, now you have ridiculous waiting lists to actually get to use the toilet. So you've now ruined the toilet for everyone. Sharkbite says, I'll have the power to kick gum and chew ass, but I'm all out of gum. I'm going to tie this into Fallen Snow Kikus because now that everyone has to wait to use the toilet, everyone pretty much shits themselves all the time. So the ass that you are chewing is far from clean, my friend. And as for kicking gum, well, you just get it stuck all over your foot, and that's no fun. I don't know why you'd want to kick gum. Gross. Stud Still Smash says, I'll take the ability to make a hologram decoy of myself. No more sitting through DOT and OSHA meetings at work. Done. You have a hologram decoy of yourself that goes to work for you. Now, the problem is, though, he does your job even better than you do and starts getting promoted and raises and what have you, and decides to take over your entire life. And now you have been moved out and live under a bridge and have to strip for spare change. Your hologram is now living your ideal life at your personal sacrifice. Big Brown Dog says, I'll take the power to kick ass and chew bubblegum. Well, Big Brown Dog, you can do that, but you're all out of bubblegum, so now all you can do is kick ass, and every single social interaction you have now involves you kicking someone's ass, and nobody likes you anymore because, now you're a bit of a bully. Good luck with that. Good luck going to church. Let's say that. The Big Deal says, I know nothing about Duke Nukem, so I'll choose the ability to listen to a podcast about Duke Nukem hosted by you fine gents. Asked and answered, Big Deal, because you can do that. The problem is now you have to listen to a podcast hosted by us fine gents, and that is punishment in itself. That is the downside. You have to listen to us idiots talk about Duke Nukem. Oh, yeesh. Well done. Big Kid 782 says, I'll take the power to come up with awesome one-liners that causes the enemy to give up and explode. Oh, there's an obvious one there, isn't there? Because, explode could be taken a lot of different ways. So now you can only talk in one-liners, and every time you do, everyone around you just comes. Yeah, so, it's going to be really awkward when you visit your parents or your grandparents or in the line at supermarket or something. Cool, that could get a clean up on aisle 3. Yeah, everyone around you now comes. So I suppose it's good for everyone else, but kind of gross for you, buddy. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious says, I'll take the power to pay cash to see the boobs of a stripper. Hold the phone, you can do that in real life? No, you can't. Because you can't pay cash anymore in this post-COVID world. Everything is digital, and now all you can do is try and find the one stripper that is going to take cash to show you their boobs. And do you know what? I'm going to tie this in to Stud Still Smash. Because now Stud Still Smash is the only stripper around that is going to accept cash instead of digital or tapping your phone or what have you. So yeah, there you go. The only stripper you can see is Stud Still Smash, which I don't know, might be a positive or a negative. I've not seen them. Where are we? Captain Hooley says, I'll take the power to pull all the bad bitches just like the ultimate ladies man Duke. Okay, you get to pull all of the bad bitches. The problem is, and I assume this is what you mean, is you now have untrained female dogs all over you at all times. You are now a magnet for female dogs. They're bitches, right? Yeah. So now you have to fend them all off with a stick because they are completely randy and they're humpers. They are humpers. So deal with that. Oh, goodness me. That's going to do it for another episode of Choose One, Lose One. Thanks for playing, guys. That was awesome. Which I guess leads us, inevitably, into a little section we call the Gentleman's Interlude.
I'm Duke Nukem, the ultimate alien ass kicker. And Duke Nukem 3D is the game that put my boots on the map. Developed by 3D Realms and released on January 29, 1996, this bad boy brought attitude, firepower, and babes to the first-person shooter genre and left a crater behind. Set in a futuristic, alien infested Los Angeles, you step into my boots after the events of Duke Nukem 2. The alien scum have invaded Earth, kidnapped our babes, and trashed the city. That was their first and last mistake. Armed with an arsenal of weapons like the Devastator, Shrinker, and the mighty RPG, I tear through strip clubs, space stations, city streets, and alien motherships across 3 original episodes: LA Meltdown, Lunar Apocalypse, and Shrapnel City. A 4th episode, The Birth, was added in the 1996 Plutonium Pack expansion. This game brought innovation to the FPS world. Real 3D level design? Check. Interactive environments? Hell yeah. Multiplayer deathmatch and co-op? You better believe it. And let's not forget my unforgettable one-liners, ripped straight from 80s action flicks and laced with testosterone. Duke Nukem 3D originally launched for MS-DOS, then blasted its way onto Windows, Mac OS, Sega Saturn, PlayStation, Nintendo 64, and more. Later re-releases like Duke Nukem 3D Megaton Edition 2013 and 20th Edition World Tour 2016 brought the carnage to modern systems with updated visuals and bonus content. So if you want to save the world, blast aliens, and drop one-liners while you're doing it, there's only one name you need to remember: Duke Nukem. Hail to the king, baby.
Well, there you go. There is an example of a game dictating the gentleman's interlude, and that was not easy on the old vocal cords. So let's get into some game comments before we get into the episode proper, and I can shut this thing down. So, Brother Retro says, I've partied and hung out with John St. John, the voice of the Duke, and he's a killer dude who loves his fans. Such great times. You, Brother Retro, have partied with Duke Nukem. There's nothing really cooler than that. That's a fucking cool story. I love it. What's next? Sharkbite says, who would you choose to play Duke in a live action film? That's a good question. I don't know many actors these days. I'm kind of out of the loop. But you know who came to mind instantly is Carl Urban. You know that dude does literally everything, and I could see him like blonding his hair and donning the shades, and I think he'd be a pretty good Duke Nukem, right? What do you guys think? I just think he's got that level of arsehole to him that he would be a good Duke Nukem. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. That's a good question. What's next? Stud Still Smash says, real excited for this episode. This is one of my earliest gaming memories. Little 6-year-old Stud Still Smash sitting at the computer working the keyboard while my dad ran the joystick. Should I have been playing this game so young? Probably not. Was it amazing though? Hell yes. While it's definitely a product of its time, Duke Nukem 3D still holds a very fond place in my memory.
Shake it, baby.
That's yeah. I think we get into that a little bit on the episode. We were playing games and watching things that we probably shouldn't have been doing at the age that we were, and I wonder if it's had a knock-on effect on our sense of humor. Hmm. Jury's out. McFlurry XD says, "What is the best way to play this game today? Emulating the PS1 port, PC port? Um, I haven't played the PC port, but I have played the PS1 port, and I'm going to say it's almost certainly the PC port. I can't imagine the PC port is not an absolute improvement over the PS1 version in every single way. Again, we talk a little bit about the different versions of the game. I enjoyed my time with the PS1 version, but it I don't think you can substitute the flow and the fluidity and just the visual upgrades of the PSP, fucking hell, PC port. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. Uh Unbuckled Cape says, Cape, fun fact. I've never played a Duke Nukem game, and up until now, I thought the movie titled They Live was a Duke Nukem movie. I have never seen that movie, I just know the line from it. I have no idea how that happened. Please, O mighty collector, explain my incompetence and say the line from the movie They Live. I've never seen the movie They Live, so I am ignorant as well. And as for the line that you want me to say, well, that's going to take me into my comment from here, Captain Hooley, who says,
It's time to kick ass and chew bubblegum, but I'm all out of gum.
I am so excited for the episode. This is one of the biggest games of my childhood. My cousin was babysitting me when I was about 7, and this was my introduction into shooters. It was magnificent. I still can remember the main cheat code DN Cornholio for everything, and I still got that badass looking original disc that my cousin gave to me. 10 out of 10. Oh, I love the enthusiasm, Captain Hooley. Yeah, I also played this very, very young. I didn't remember all of the cheat codes though, although I was aware that they exist. It's just fun. It's a good time, not to get too far into it, but it's just big dumb boomer fun. Boomer shooting fun, right? And finally, where are we? Fallen Snow Kiku says, I remember when this game came out on Xbox Live Arcade, and I played the demo while desperately trying to avoid my parents finding out. Since then, I've got it twofold on Steam, but somehow hadn't fired it up. Well, Fallen Snow Kiku, maybe we can convince you to fire it up as we talk a little Duke Nukem 3D. Thanks to everyone for writing in. As always, this has been a great time. But let's get into it. Let's get into our Patreon poll-winning boomer shooter episode, Duke Nukem 3D. So, do you know what? Don't bother grabbing any gum because the bubble gum has all run out, and just come and kick some ass with us as we talk Duke Nukem 3D, released on January 29th, 1996.
Anybody mind if I take off my pants?
And we are back to talk a little bit of Duke Nukem 3D for, I guess, the PlayStation, the PC, and whatever else it's on. And with me, as always, the babe of Retrotopia, it's Sam. And over in the other corner, wielding a very big gun, I'm told, it's Brian. Fellas, how you doing? Lies? I tell no lies. You are definitely the sex appeal around Sam, here, my friend. You hail from the land of the babes.
You're the reason all the girls keep coming back.
Sure,
that's it.
Sure.
We need a new stick to fend them off. It's just getting ridiculous in this place. Yeah, we're off to a flying start. So Duke Nukem. I want to hear about your history with the game. But before that, I want to know. Duke Nukem is kind of a dead series, I guess. We've not had any entries in it for a good long while. Do you think this kind of game gets made these days? What do you reckon?
No, I think Duke Nukem Forever killed it. It died in development hell, overhyped, and then came out to lackluster reviews. I think it...
See, I never played that
I think it's kind of
I didn't either.
Dead because of that. I played. I got into the hype. Like, I was all about the Duke Nukem 3D when I was younger. At least the shareware version where you got level 1. And, when Duke Nukem Forever finally got announced, I was just like, oh my god, a new Duke Nukem game. And no, it didn't feel fun. That's all I remember about it.
Just didn't hit the way that Duke Nukem 3D obviously did, because this was our Patreon
boomer shooters,
right?
baby.
So boomer shooters.
That's right.
So people wanted to hear our opinions on Duke Nukem 3D, and we have them. So you've come to the right place. Obviously, I know what my history is with the game, and I'll get into that eventually. But Sam, Duke Nukem 3D, what's your history? You're a PC guy.
Oh man, I like this. How it's like I'm not a PC guy. I wouldn't say. I was around PC gaming a lot as a kid because my dad was into it at the time, which was pretty cool because I got to play a lot of stuff that I otherwise would not have. And this was one of them. 1996. I was 9. So should I have been playing this? Probably not, but I did. And it was a lot of fun, man. Like I remember like early days of like the dial-up 56K, like just computer to computer multiplayer that you could do on this game. And I just, yeah, I don't know. I loved it. This was the first shooter I played. Just like wild to think about. Well, I think I'd probably dabbled in like Doom or Wolfenstein before 96, but this was the first one that we actually had installed on our family computer. And so, yeah, I played a lot of Duke Nukem.
Awesome. Brian, how about you?
Boy, golly, when I was a young lad, I was 16 when this came out, so I was not not new to the world of Duke Nukem's type of mouth. I remember playing this, but I don't remember how I played it. I think it was at a friend's house is where I played this the most, and we would just go through, and of course it's immediately you're at that juvenile age where all the catchphrases catch you from, Mr. John St. John himself. It was fun for the fact that this is the first time I remember being able to use a mouse to look up and down when you aim. For some reason, I never remember any other game doing anything but except for letting you look left and right. And I'm probably wrong on that one, but I'm trying to think of like Wolfenstein 3D and stuff like that. And
I think this was the first one.
Yeah. So, yeah, anyways, that's how it kind of captured me. And I really like the first person genre, and I really like the level design of this. I mean, there's a lot to explore, a lot of hidden secrets there. You try to, open everything, and you'd find just a wall would come open, and then you'd find a few health packs or something. It was, yeah, that is pretty much my history, Alan.
I'm sorry, Brian, but you nearly fucking killed me with "by golly" when I was a young lad. Like, I half imagine you slapping your knee with that one and just like sitting in your recliner chair. And I was halfway through drinking my drink, and yeah.
Well, I'm getting to that point of I don't know, adulthood where I'm kind of at the top of the mountain and I'm looking down at the other side. So.
What was it? 3 weeks away from death, I think you once called it.
Yeah.
See, my history with Duke Nukem 3D is kind of spotty because I do remember playing it back in the day, and I'm almost certain we played it on a PC. I have a lot of very fond memories of playing things like Doom prior to this, and as you know, I'm a big Doom guy, and there's no denying that this is kind of sort of an attempt at a Doom killer. I think I'm positive it was marketed as such.
Yeah, PC Gamer Magazine called it the Doom Killer.
There you go. See, I remember some stuff. I distinctly remember that very, very first level, and playing it again this time around, actually on PS1 this time, which, maybe not the experience that it perhaps was back in the day. I distinctly remember those first couple of levels and the smut and the filth and all of that good stuff that, as Brian rightly pointed out, we were so addicted to as young adolescent men, or boys, as it may be.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
And then I just remember fuck all else about it until the stadium level, which, as far as I know, at least for like the base experience, was the last level. I mean, if I'm honest, I don't know how all of this like PC shareware sort of stuff or whatever you call it actually worked. Yeah, so I remember basically the first level very, very well and the last level very, very well, and very little else in between, which made it interesting playing through it this time round. But yeah, good times.
Yeah, it's funny. Like you mentioned this, the smut, and like right away in the first level is like in a porno theater. And I was thinking, like, do porno theaters typically have concession stands? Because there's like a popcorn stand. Like, who's getting popcorn and watching?
The guy who needs to recharge for the double feature.
Oh God.
I'll have plenty of butter, please. I need to rebuild my energy.
I need the protein.
Listen, I mean, I can't say I've ever frequented such an establishment. It appears that they have these booths that you go into, and maybe you're allowed to take food and drinks into there and watch the show. I don't know.
God.
It's kind of a funny hook for the very first level. I mean, this game is unashamedly just wears its raciness on its sleeve right from the off. And what kind of surprised me about it is just that it kind of disappears for the majority of the game. It kind of just seems to be like the first couple of levels where you're on Earth, and then it's just kind of gone for the rest of it, and the game starts to almost take itself a little bit more seriously.
I don't know though. Like it comes back in that third act. For sure. When you get back to because like I don't know. We should probably talk about the storyline. Really, is like these aliens are coming to Earth and they need to steal women to. I guess that's how they transform them into other aliens or something. They kind of like cocoon them, and I mean, I guess apparently it's not just any ladies will do. It's like only the hot ones or something, because it's like they're like attacking strip clubs and porno theaters and whatever. It's just such a wild concept. But there is definitely some smutty stuff that comes back when you return to Earth.
That is true. I mean, as far as storylines go, it's just kind of there, isn't it? I didn't even know all of that stuff. I just know aliens are invading, and for some reason that means we have to start here at a porno theater for reasons.
Right.
What about you, Brian? How do you love this Shakespearean piece of work?
Simple is the best when you have a game where the entire focus is just to shoot and blow things up, and I think the story is something I don't even remember. I barely barely friggin' paid attention to it.
Oh man.
No.
I don't know, like he's fighting aliens, that's all I knew, and that was just like the trope for that time. And you go through, you get guns, you blow things up, the aliens come at you, you find 3 colors of cards to open up the doors to get to the end of the level, to move to the next part, and repeat that all over again. So it's
yeah.
I don't know. Like, I have no opinion on the story whatsoever. I mean, the crude, rough, foul-mouthed Duke Nukem is the star of the show, and it's not like they really get into these big narrative cutscenes.
No, it's like you said, it's true. It was just the style at the time, wasn't it? I mean, we can't come down on something like Duke Nukem for like not having much of a story when it's, Doom doesn't have much of a story. It's just, Duke Nukem, alien invasion, Doom, it's just an invasion from hell. It's just like you've got 2 muscly dudes running around with very large guns just blasting everything in sight, and it's just like that's all we needed back in the day. Like the lore of things like Doom has just gotten absolutely fucking crazy, and it's just like, you know what? Take me back to the good old days where all I needed was a shotgun and a boot and just put something squishy in front of me and just let me kill it.
Yeah, it was simple, but it worked, right? That formula of, a handful of guns, different guns, and some key cards, and off you go.
Well, even today that formula works. I mean, I know Doom added a lot of story to it, but it's still all about the run and gun, shoot 'em up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, the story is there if you want it, but, I expect for the most part, people are just there to just twist off heads and this game has, plenty of that going on. This game does not skimp on the gore, which, again, was just another thing that we were really into at the time. Just like give us more.
Yeah, I like when any type of exploding weapon, like a pipe bomb or the RPG rocket propelled grenade, will just like completely destroy something and just blow its parts all over the place.
Do you know what really impressed me about this game is one of the things I noticed is like when you're running through, you actually get a real life reflection of your character in mirrors. And
that
true. Is something that was not really like big in video games at the time. Mirrors were usually just like these foggy window-looking things. But this, you actually can walk up to it, interact with it, and he'll say, "That's a handsome fellow," or something like that.
Yeah, you're like, damn, I look good.
Yeah, and it's just like that was the interactivity in this game is absolutely phenomenal. Light switches, secret hidden stuff, opening, closing doors, just everything you can do.
Did you guys know? Did you know that you could pee in the urinals
and the toilet,
or in the toilets, and you get 10 health from it? And same with drinking out of water fountains.
I did find out that you could pee in the urinals only because I accidentally did it while I was surrounded and got myself fucking shot in the back. So that was a good time. But no, Brian, you're absolutely right, because even having been so many years since I last played this game, like, I knew exactly what was going to happen when I walked up to a mirror, because it was obviously something that impressed me so much as a kid, because I don't think I'd ever seen that before.
You don't see that much today.
No, true. And I just remembered that all these years later. Like, I knew as soon as I went to that mirror, I was just like, oh, I'm gonna see myself in the mirror. And you just dick around for a minute, just walking around, just seeing what you can get away with.
Yeah, and I just I didn't finish the game this playthrough. I made it I think second story into it, but I spent a lot of time just exploring and looking for things to open and secret paths and stuff like that. And this game really, really, really encourages you to explore, because there is just so much to do in this game that it's amazing they took the time to put this level of detail into it.
Oh, yeah, sure. The maps are crazy.
Yeah, and you even get the Easter eggs, like the Duke Nukem arcade cabinets that are around. And actually, speaking of interacting with it, you can find the Duke Nukem arcade cabinet, and then if you try to engage with it, like hitting the action button in front of it or something, you'll be like, I don't have time to play with myself.
Hey, Alan, did you just get a little Duke Nukem out of Sam there just now?
I did. That was really good.
Amazing.
Yeah, I've been listening to that for over 30 years, so I should be able to.
There's a little Duke Nukem inside of see. I told you he's our sex appeal. That just proves it. I love all of that stuff though. All the little catchphrases and things, like when you interact with stuff, and he just says stuff, and it's just like such a nice little touch. Like they went above and beyond to just make this guy basically what we considered the coolest a man could be back in the 90s.
Yeah,
this was the action hero archetype.
It's just my favorite catchphrase is one of the bosses that you fight when you kill him. He's like, I'm gonna tear your head off and shit down your throat. It's like, oh my god.
I'm a kid, I can't listen to this. I downloaded the entire voice clips of everything John St. John did in this game, and I was looking for some good ones to stitch into the episode, and I didn't even get through the A's. That's how many friggin' voice clips there are.
There's so many.
Oh my god.
He must have had so much fun doing that.
Oh, I know.
I'm gonna rip off your head and shit down your neck.
Yeah, shit down your neck. That's what it is. Yeah, and just
and he follows through with it.
He does.
He follows through.
That's right. He cuts off the head of whatever monster that is, and he kicks it through the field goal upright, because I think that's the football field one, and then he no, god damn it, I'm getting them mixed up, because there's so many cool bosses, but you just there's a mini kind of cutscene of him sitting there with a newspaper shitting on this enemy.
Where the fuck did he get that newspaper from? Is what I want to know.
He's just been carrying it around the whole time.
Brought it from home.
Just in case. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna need this.
Something I wanted to mention that I thought was really cool in this game was just Doom and Wolfenstein were great, but they didn't have the widest variety of weapons, and they wouldn't. They were early 3D shooters from their time, but this game had probably a good 10 different weapons that you could use. Did you guys have a favorite?
I like the RPG just because it fucks shit up quickly. But
Yeah.
the Mighty Foot was
sure
definitely
does.
a great way to get around.
Wait, is there a Mighty Foot cheat? I thought there was a Mighty Foot cheat where it was like a one-hit kill with the kick.
Really? I only ever used the foot by accident. I don't think this kind of game and all of these options are particularly well suited to the PlayStation. Like, I am sure that there is a lot of faff to try and get basically a control scheme that is mapped to a keyboard onto one of those controllers. That being said, playing it with the dual analog sticks was really pleasant. I mean, I tended to gravitate towards the shotgun, but that's just my Doom bias, and unfortunately it's not as good as the super shotgun from Doom, but still pretty good. It was either that or what's the rapid fire one? I can't think what it's called now.
Oh, the
It was
gun
like a
cannon.
chain gun cannon.
Chain gun, yeah. See, I'm fairly generic with that. Like, Brian, I appreciate your love for the RPGs, but I'm more a danger to myself with that fucking thing.
Oh yeah.
I would blow myself up all the damn time.
I actually really liked the combination of using like the shotgun or the chain gun cannon were pretty much your workhorse, but then like flipping to the pipe bomb. So if you had like an enemy that you knew was around the corner,
pipe bomb
or
was
a
great.
group of enemies, you toss a pipe bomb and tuck back around the corner and blow it up, and you can pretty much, if you throw it, then it brings up like a detonator, and then you could hit it and it would fire. But like you could pretty much rapidly like throw it and detonate it whenever you want. So that I love the pipe bomb. I think the pipe bomb is like an underrated piece of equipment.
Yeah, the pipe bomb was really fun.
It's better than a grenade. Yeah.
I really appreciate the fact that after you'd thrown a pipe bomb, you could pick it up again.
Yeah.
Like, if you'd fucked up your throw, I mean, you'd gotten yourself in a tight spot. You weren't necessarily fucked. You could just walk over it, pick it up, and try again, which was very much appreciated. This time round, though, I found a lot of use for the shrinker. Especially, and we'll get into some of the enemies later on, but especially some of those bigger fucking enemies.
Those big fat ass ones.
Oh yeah,
I think that might be the most fun of I think there's a lot of fun factor in the freeze ray too, the shrinker and the freeze thrower.
I never used the freezer.
Oh man, it like shoots out like these little icicles, and it freezes enemies pretty quick. And then as you walk up to them, you can use the Mighty Foot and just kick them, and they shatter.
Oh,
It's pretty quick.
So much fun.
It carries like 50 ammo, and it runs out pretty quick. But it's so much fun. It makes short work of like a group of enemies. One thing I wanted to say about the shrink ray is you can shrink yourself if you shoot the shrink ray into a mirror.
Oh yeah.
So there's some secrets. There are some secrets in the game, or like puzzle parts of the game. Like we'll talk about like how. So this game had a lot more like shit to figure out, I think, than like its predecessors, and so there were some like puzzle elements to figuring out how to get through some of these levels. But yeah, there were some secrets where you could point a shrink ray at the mirror and shrink yourself and.
I'll be damned, because
go through little vents and stuff.
There were a couple of levels where you would like unlock part of the wall, and there would be some sort of shrinking device in there. I never thought of using the shrinker on myself. That's so clever. That's
is
the sort
really
of thing
cool.
that's the sort of thing you only figure out when you're fucking
that's
around.
the attention to
on your
detail this game brought.
30th playthrough.
Like just something so asinine. Like first off, we're talking about your reflection in the mirror, and then now I find out there's like a way you can use it to make your game, I guess more fun would be the word, because that'd be awesome to do.
Right.
That would be so much fun.
And the parts where you have to shrink yourself to get to other areas of the level, you really have to be careful. You have to hold down the sprint, whatever the sprint button is, whether you're playing it on a computer or on a console, you got to figure out how to sprint, because if you come out of your shrink and you're in a tight space, you'll crush yourself. So it makes this like grinding sound and you die. Or like you have to be
don't get a
careful
lot
around.
of time either.
Yeah, the enemies can crush you and one hit kill you too.
Fuck.
It's just
Which
yeah,
fair, because that's
Which
what
is
I was
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
most
it's
of them.
absolutely fair.
yeah, but that attention to detail of like, oh shit, I walked too close to this enemy and they stepped on me.
Yeah. Oh my god, fun with shrinking. What else was there?
Well, there were
Devastator
two.
was pretty cool.
The Devastator was great. So that's like a little mini missile launcher, so you could fire a bunch of little explosions. There were also I think they came in the expansion, but they're in like the current versions of the game. This is pretty well available anywhere. But if you download it on like a Switch or Steam or something like that, I don't know if they're anywhere in the base game. But if you enter in like the all weapons cheat, you can get a flamethrower, which is fucking awesome. And you can get it's like an expander. So instead of the shrink ray, there's an expander that just kind of like cooks the enemy and expands them, and then they just explode.
That's
That's a bit
ridiculous.
morbid.
Yeah, they just get really
Definitely did
huge
not-
and then blow up.
I did not have that in my game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know if they had it in the PlayStation version.
I don't know. I do know,
That's
like
so fucking
Alan, you mentioned using the shotgun and the machine gun or the chain gun cannon the most, and I did too because that's where you got the ammo the most. But every
Yeah,
so
that's true.
often, I'd pull out the RPG and all the other weapons, and I'd try them out and just spend all the ammo I had, and then struggle to make it to the next part. What'd you think of the difficulty of the game?
Oh, it's actually tough. Like it's tougher than I remember it being.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, thank fuck. Now I don't know if this is on the PC version, but the PlayStation version does have a quick save, and you better believe I was spamming that thing like crazy. I was just playing on the normal difficulty, but there are some parts of this where you get swarmed, and again, the ability to sort of circle, strafe, and fire and what have you is not all that intuitive on a PlayStation controller.
No, I think this game's difficulty is mitigated a bit by playing on a PC because you have the ability to play on a keyboard and with a mouse, and shooters are really made for keyboard and mouse. They're really at home on that setup. So I think, and this I think used the, I think I remember this using the WASD
It did.
configuration because I remember using those buttons and then being able to have my thumb on the space bar for the action button, and then everything else was on the mouse, and then you can switch quickly between your weapons because your weapons would be on the number buttons just above your movement buttons.
Oh, yeah, you see, that's so much better because I
Yeah.
just had to sit there and just like circle through, pressing like it was either the square or the circle button, I can't remember, but you had to slowly circle through the weapons, and that's just not viable in the middle of a firefight. You had to wait until like everything was dead.
Plus, even with basically, if you're playing this on a console, I mean, you can kind of retrofit it to work in the dual stick scheme, but that's not as fast as zooming around with a mouse. So I think just like being able to move the mouse quickly back and forth and just like fire between different enemies and stuff, especially when there's a lot of places, like especially towards the end of levels where you'll get ambushed and multiple enemies will just like come out of open doors or just drop down, and it's usually those fucking pigs, the warthog like police officer things with the shotguns.
I think they're trying to make a point there.
Yeah, I wonder what that is. Oh, did you notice on their backs instead of LAPD it said LARD?
I did not.
That's
is
good.
fucking
That's
hilarious.
Man,
And then
I just feel
that's
like there's so
amazing.
many details I've missed in this game on this playthrough that I should have taken more time to just soak it all in.
I mean, there's funny signs and stuff. Just like if you have a moment, or you put on like, I mean, even I would say like put on cheat codes, even, because if you're not having to scramble to fight enemies and worry about dying and stuff like that, you can really like just appreciate the level of detail they put into the game with just like goofy signs, all the different like, you know, being able to like turn on TVs and see like naughty stuff.
Yeah.
And, like, or like, you can like you could talk to the, like there's either like strippers or just like women standing around, and like Duke will like talk to them if you interact with them, and some of them will flash you, but like you can also like give them money. It's just like, of course it's like, awful for a 9-year-old to play. I mean, no one should ever do that, but there's just a lot of like tongue-in-cheek humor that pulls a lot of references from different like sci-fi and horror stuff that, yeah, I don't know. It's an homage, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and speaking of homage,
I mean, 90s.
yeah, I was just gonna say,
Brian.
speaking of homage, how many movies have this like parodied and been parodied by this? I mean, can't tell me Army of Darkness did not take a little bit from this.
Yeah, opposite, because this came
Did it?
after.
Okay, so
I think this is
one of them didn't take from the other one.
Right. So
I could see that though.
it's the kick ass and chew bubble gum, right? And I'm all out of gum. That's Army of Darkness.
One of the endings.
Oh man, just like 90s parenting was really just different, wasn't it?
Actually,
The sort of shit that we were allowed to watch and play. Like, I remember being absolutely fucking traumatized by Terminator 2 Judgment Day. And I'd be watching the Alien films and shit like that, and I had no business watching that shit. I had no business playing this game.
I remember the opposite.
Oh,
I
God.
was not allowed to do a lot. Like, I wasn't allowed to watch wrestling. Anything that was overly violent was a hard no. And yeah, how I got to play this wasn't at home, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's fair.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting here at 9 with this
Yeah.
loaded on the family computer. And I think my dad did. There was like and they have this option in the modern versions too, but there's an option to like turn the adult content off. So I think that includes like any of the signage or like the ladies that are around that flash you, or like any of the like, you know, spicy things that Duke says. I think my dad turned it off at one point, which was probably smart, but I just figured out how to go in the menu and turn it back on again. Sorry, Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it turns out kids aren't as dumb as we think they are.
Not when there's spicy stuff to be seen. Yeah, well, life finds a way.
I didn't know why that was like, I was joking with the Lady Beagle. I was playing this over again, and she was just like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "You know what? This is the only fucking strip club I've ever been in my life. So
Really?
be happy about that." I've never been to one.
Just like I remember.
You
Yeah,
two
I'm
come
like,
up
well-
to Canada here. I'll take you to one of our Canadian strip clubs in Montreal.
No, I've already been to one. Don't worry about it. That was my
pass.
rationale. Like, I don't need to go to a strip club. I've already been to one.
That's it. I'll stick with Duke Nukem 3D.
Yeah.
Endless wads of cash that this guy is carrying around with him.
Yeah. It doesn't matter how many times you hit the space bar, you get those pixel boobs.
Just keep doing it. But Brian, I mean, what you're saying about like missing out so much, I mean, I think that really speaks to this game. It's just like, it is designed to be played over and over again, and you know, you won't notice everything first time. You won't find all of the secrets. You won't see all of the funny signs and things you can interact with. It's just an extra layer of detail added to this game, so that it is possible to find something new every time you play the game, which I think is pretty fucking genius.
Yeah.
It is, but this is where my negativity is going to come in. The reason I never finished the game was I was getting bored. Because it's the same gameplay loop.
yeah?
And
How
yeah,
dare
I
you.
know. Like, I'm not the same kid who's just going for all the dirty words. And the gameplay loop in this game is pretty much the same thing. Like, you just run around a level at warp speed, shoot whatever you can, find 1,000 secrets there, find the 3 cards, and find the nuke button to hit at the end of it. It's it wears thin after a while nowadays. It's probably the lack of story. Like I said, I wasn't really seeing much of a story in the game, but I feel like it might be that lack of story that really kind of did that for me.
It is
I
repetitive.
wonder if that was.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's helped though. And Sam, you can probably help answer this one because being sort of one of these PC games, like I assume that this was kind of portioned out in episodes.
Yes.
So there you go.
Although-
I mean, this would
well-
probably be something that you would play one of the episodes and then play something else for a while, and then there's a new set of
No.
Duke Nukem levels come along.
Yeah, I see what you mean. No, it didn't come out like that. Or like the first time I ever played this, I think was actually in like a PC Gamer demo disc. I remember like PC Gamer used to come with this CD, and you'd load it into your PC, and then you'd be able to, like, it would open up a like basically a file launcher, and you would be able to pick and choose which of the demos you wanted to actually load onto your computer. And so I think we had tried out the first level and then eventually ended up buying the full game. But the full game had the first 3 episodes, and now in the current version there's 5, I think. So the first the game when it first came out had 3 episodes. So it's like I can't remember what there's like LA Meltdown and Lunar Apocalypse and then whatever the third one was. And then there was a expansion pack, and that expansion pack had the 4th one. So I have the least amount of experience with the 4th one, and then the 5th one is really, I can't remember what the deal is with that 5th episode, but I didn't enjoy it when I played it. It was just way too weird and convoluted, and I think it took advantage of like some of the things that modders were doing, which are fun, but also like it's kind of like the Mario Maker version of this, where like assets are used in weird ways, and it's just goofy. So I didn't like the 5th episode, but yeah, the initial game was the first 3 episodes. But like you said, you play through, and that was pretty common too with real-time strategy games where you had like Warcraft, you had like orcs, and then you could play humans, but those were separate episodes or like separate campaigns or whatever. And so like you could play a campaign and play it through and be done with it, and maybe come back to 2 and 3 later on or something like that. So it's kind of like 3 games in one.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, but I do get your point, Brian. You know, if it's not, I mean, if you're into this kind of gameplay loop, and yeah, it might not be that much of a problem. But if it's, because I suppose these first person shooters have evolved so much now that this is kind of archaic for what it is. I mean, they were trailblazers at the time, but you know, if you're not sort of into the gameplay loop, then I can see how this would get pretty old. I mean, I have to admit, like, with the difficulty at times, like I was getting frustrated with the game, like dying over and over and over again, and you know, sometimes I did have to just put it down and just you know what, I'll just try again later.
Yeah, and it's not just this game in particular. This is just showing its age. It's gaming as a whole, like the addition of narrative inside of video games and kind of changing up how you progress through the game is why this game feels so repetitive and so monotonous after a while. So it's I'm not knocking this game for it, because I'm not going to take a game from 1996 and compare it to like Ghost of Tsushima or something like that has an amazing story and a great gameplay loop. But when you're playing it in 2025, quite honestly, there are a lot better games to play than this.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. And
oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Just to the repetitive, you know, something that I think wasn't repetitive, but I think didn't necessarily age well, but was also probably very revolutionary at the time, was all the like weird puzzle solving to get through the levels. A lot of times there'd be like sets of buttons that would come up, and you'd have to just like pick the right sequence to engage them in, or like just convoluted or confusing level design where like you would activate a switch somewhere and it would open a door somewhere else in the level or something like that. But that was, I mean, they were already doing that in games like Doom, probably Doom 2 maybe, or it's been a while since I've tried that one, or like I know I've been playing Heretic a little bit, and that game does that a little bit too. So I don't know if maybe it's borrowing a little bit from those, but yeah, like some of the problem solving or puzzle solving aspects get to wear down a little bit because they're just obtuse.
Sure. Do you know what it was for me? Like, I thoroughly enjoy playing this and games like this, but where these levels can be quite big and quite convoluted, I would often find myself like getting to the end. Again, like I feel the same way about Doom and even recent Doom games. It's like you would get to the end of one of these massive maps, and you just be like, "I'm good. I'm done for the night. Like I don't fancy going into the next level because I know it's the same thing. I'm gonna have to do this again, and it's gonna take me however long. It's just like I'll just break this thing up, make it more manageable.
I'll even go further and say,
Well-
like, even games I like Far Cry 3, when they do that, where you go to the outpost and you snipe all the guys and you take the outpost and you repeat that. I only do so many at a time because it gets kind of boring after a while. Just exactly like you said, Adam. Or not Adam, Alan. Jesus Christ. I'm so hungry.
Adam,
Yeah, that's true. He's his brain's not working. Well, we were just we should pause and thank Adam again for doing our little episode 100 guest appearance. That's why we had Adam on the brain.
I'm sorry. Is that me, Adam, or him, Adam?
That's
or
you,
who?
Alan.
I'm
I
so
said Alan
confused now.
afterwards.
You wouldn't like me when I'm Adam.
Sorry, it's not just that.
It's
One
just
of
a
the
whole
one of the
version
things
of
we're
Alan.
learning in the game designs foundation is what's called the atom of a game. So I got it on my brain.
Oh, that too. Yeah.
Adam. And Adam, Bioshock Infinite. We should play Bioshock Infinite. Yeah, we're doing that. Sorry, planning. We had to get planning another episode in the episode, so there we are. I got it out of the way for us.
It's not going to be Duke Nukem forever. That's for sure. I don't care to play that.
That'll
I
be
don't
a
give a
quick play
shit.
one day.
Yeah.
I'll take that bullet.
All right. What else? Like, there were some like enemies that were pretty shitty. Did any like?
Oh.
Did you ever like? And they make all different kinds of sounds, so you can hear them coming. Like basically like the grunts, the like those warthogs, like we mentioned, are kind of like your main guys, and then later on you get these like weird lizard looking things with these chain gun arms.
I fucking
get the-
hate those things.
Yeah, because they can teleport. They like teleport in or they jump in.
They jump in and they will guarantee they will take a chunk out of you before you've had a chance to do anything every single fucking time.
Absolutely.
They're just lethally accurate, the bastards.
And then there's those, they would always show up kind of where, like, there would be like areas where there's eggs. So I think there were like little weird green, like slime things that would like kind of face hugger
Yeah.
attack you like that. And those would come out of eggs. And then in those areas that are like kind of infected looking, you'd see those weird, like squid looking guys that would either fire these beams at you or they would kind of like come up and chew on you. Those kind of suck too.
The Metroid meets a Mind Flayer fucking thing.
Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like.
I don't think there's. I didn't make it too far in the game, so I can't talk about every enemy. But there's nothing that really, I guess, stood out to me. I mean, you have the weak enemy, the mid enemy, and then the strong enemy, then the fast enemy. You have like the 4 types, and I guess the one that probably annoyed me the most was the ones on the speeder bikes where you had to aim for them and try to shoot them down.
Oh
yeah. Those fucking things suck.
the pigs and the flying
Yeah.
machines. Because then it would go down, like it would blow up, but it wouldn't kill the pigs. So it's like you have to deal with it while it's flying around shooting at you, and then you have to deal with it once it's crashed. It like generates another enemy for you.
Yeah.
Oh, one of my least favorites was the, oh God, I can't remember what they're called, but they're like these drones that just like suicide bomb you. But they
Oh
make,
my god.
you can hear them coming, and like sometimes you don't know where it is, and they'll sabotage you a bunch because like you'll open a door and there'll be like one just like right behind the door. It's like, what? Come on. There's a lot of like just really trolly bullshit in this game sometimes where like you'll open a door and something that you can't avoid will just be right there and explode in your face. Giggity.
Yeah, or the laser fucking tripwires as well, which do the same thing. It's just a lot of it's just trial and error. It's like, how the fuck
Yep.
was I supposed to know that was
I
there?
will say I do appreciate when you killed an enemy, they stayed dead. So when you've just like
Yes.
completely cleared the level, there was two great things about that. One, you could explore without worrying about enemies, and second, if you found an enemy, you knew you're headed in the right direction.
Yeah, that's true.
That's-
yeah, like a
that is
finite
true.
amount of
Good
enemies.
point.
Because yeah, when you beat the level, it's like a self-destruct button, which I think is kind of very similar to Doom. Like you reach the end, and then the object of the level is to like hit this button and end it, and then it'll give you your stats. Like you found X amount of secrets and missed this many. You killed this many enemies and missed this many, and then like this was your time. And did you notice that they have like speed run times like built into the game?
They do. And I'm
There's-
looking at these times and I'm like, how in the fuck
Yeah.
does anyone... Like, I'm looking at a time like 25 minutes and I'm just like, okay, what's the par time? And it's like 2. I'm like, the
Yes.
fuck it is. There's
And
no
then there
way.
was, and then okay, I don't know if the PlayStation version had this, but there was a par time that was pretty quick, and then there was like a 3D Realms time, which was like an absolute speed run version where it was like a level that took me like 40 minutes to figure out. Be like 3D Realms time, 1 minute 30
Yeah.
seconds. They're like, what the fuck? So
I suppose that just comes from knowing the game inside and out, and just
that, or there's
avoiding
exploits
enemies
that they're
and-
able to find. Like they were able to find that one. Like there's got to be like one secret somewhere that, because there were some secrets that would teleport you to like either further into the level or like an alternate. Sometimes there were alternate exits to levels.
Yeah, I mean,
so you'd see,
I fully used an exploit on the second to last level. That you
As you
spawn
should.
in, you turn around, and there's a crack in the wall, and you can see the self-destruct button on the other side of that wall. You just throw a pipe bomb in there and blow up the wall,
yeah, you could skip that whole level. It's crazy.
the whole level. So I felt that was a reward.
Yeah, if you got that
everything
far,
that
and that, yeah, that's fine.
Fuck them.
Was that that was in the third act, so there was like there was like some sort of, they play off a lot on the like San Andreas fault. So that whole third act is like there's been a massive earthquake, and so like everything is kind of destroyed, or you have to, or it's like flooded and you have to swim through. I will say I did not enjoy. There was one level where there's like a bunch of skyscrapers and it's flooded, and you have to like constantly swim down and get key cards,
Oh my
and
God. And
Yeah,
the
you're-
sharks and everything, and
there's sharks. Yeah.
With laser
And-
beams. No.
And no,
lasers
I know,
attached
I
to
just-
their heads.
shit. But then also like you come up, and every time you go down to do something in the water and then come back up to the surface to do something on the surface, ultimately I think in that level you end up with whatever the third key card, I think, is the yellow key card, and that door is on the roof. There keeps being these secret panels opening, and those floating bastards come out, and you can tell they're coming because you could just hear them like laughing. They're like, it's like, fuck, where is that thing? Because they can shoot like missiles at you.
Oh God, those
You know what I'm talking
things.
about?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The big fat guys in the floating platforms that just, those rockets travel fucking fast.
Yeah, they do, and especially like I said, if you don't know where they're coming from, I mean, you could just be getting hit with it right away, and sometimes those will pop out from behind something, and you don't have time to react to it.
Yeah.
Fuck, man, those are
tell
the
you what,
worst.
I debate that, because my absolute least favorite part of the game, and I think it was during the Lunar Apocalypse episode, which is fun for the most part. You know, you're up in space and all that sci-fi shit going on, but there's just this one room where you have to go in there and get a blue key card. And I mean, so I was not a fan of the Battle Lord as a boss of the first episode, but having two of the fuckers in that room and me
Right.
on next to no health, I mean, what kind of fucking shit is that? Because you do not last 2 seconds in that room.
No, because they can shoot basically a chain gun or like a rail
Fucking
gun or
mortar.
whatever.
Yeah.
And then they can shoot these little grenades that explode. Yeah, those suck.
Yeah.
I looked it up because I was like, man, it's crazy when these games have like a boss that looks like the boss to end all bosses, and then it turns out that they're just like a common enemy later on.
Yeah.
But I guess, quote unquote, canonically, or like in the instruction manual or whatever, the battle lords, the main battle lord is actually like a big battle lord, and then they have like these lesser battle lords. They're actually smaller than the one that you fight first, and they have less health, but they still suck.
They're even fucking smaller when I'm done with them because I found that the shrinker worked wonders on them if I could hit them right.
Did they work? Did the shrink ray work on those?
Basically a one-hit kill if you can do it right.
Fuck, I couldn't figure it out. I know that the shrink ray worked on those floaty fat dudes, but
Like, you
Man.
have to be, like, pinpoint accurate. Like, you basically have to hit them in the dick, and they'll shrink, and then you just stomp on them, and it is the most satisfying fucking thing. Especially when it's the 50th attempt.
yeah, man. Oh man, I keep thinking of other stuff. Something else that this game did that I think made it kind of more revolutionary or 3D or what, I don't know what you want to call it, but they introduced some platforming, which maybe that's part of the, because this game is a sequel, I guess, to Duke Nukem and Duke Nukem 2, which I think were arcade games, but they're side-scrolling action games. And obviously, if you're playing a side-scrolling action game, there's some platforming elements. But like this was the first time I remember. Well, it was one of the first FPS games I played. But like I don't recall there being, the ability to jump in any game prior to this from a first-person perspective. So that was kind of interesting. I don't like that mechanic, but it's fine.
Yeah, it's a little bit difficult to see where you're landing. And I genuinely, until this recent playthrough, did not know that there were previous games in the
you've
Duke Nukem series.
Blown my mind.
I'll
Yeah,
have to look those up.
I want to figure out a way to play them, at least Duke Nukem 2, because it sounds like it was kind of a, I don't know, I guess it's been ported to consoles or to Steam, but I don't know if it's available right now. I don't know.
I actually looked into it, and there's a console, a handheld console I've had my eye on for the longest time. It's called the Evercade.
No, I know that one.
And
Yep.
you know that one? And they basically have the carts that are just full of collections, like, I don't know, Team 17 collections, like Atari collections, Duke Nukem collections, and it's just all on the one cart, and they're pretty affordable because it's quite a recent system. So I might.
Oh, now I'm looking at this. This looks pretty cool.
Is it the little white handheld?
Yeah.
I mean, there are a few of them now, but yeah, I'm really interested in picking one of those up. And if anyone listening has experience with one, let us know.
And have you played Duke Nukem 2 on it?
Yeah, tell me all about it. Find us in the Discord. I don't know. What else? What else
Got
is there to
anything
talk
No,
else?
I
about?
think it's
Music?
I think it's
I mean,
time to
the
wrap
music
up.
is pretty
Nah,
good.
Music is garbage.
It's okay.
No, it's not great. It's
functional.
not bad, but it fits the tone of the game really well.
Yeah. I mean, I just like the
Yeah.
main theme. The main theme is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that sort of generic rocking sort of soundtrack.
Yeah.
It's no Doom, that's for true.
No, that's
But
true.
I mean, nothing's gonna get stuck in my head like some of the music from that game. But yeah, it does the job.
Yeah,
I
and I
think-
just think, just generally, like the sound effects are very nostalgic for me.
Well,
Sorry.
that's what I was gonna say. The sound effects and the voice bites and things like that are just spot on. Alrighty. Well, fuck it. Let's wrap this thing up and call it a night. Brian, why don't you get it out of the way first?
All right.
Let us
Well,
know.
a lot of nostalgia in this one because that's where it's going to get the bulk of its points. 2025. I don't think this game holds up as well outside of the nostalgia factor. I mean, if you really like boomer shooters, and this game is absolutely fantastic, but if you're into the more modern stuff, I'd say anything from 1997 and beyond, then this game is just kind of, I don't know, it's like a drop in the bucket of games that you'll probably never play. Graphically, for its time, fantastic, gets a point there. The music is so-so. I probably wouldn't give it a point for the music. Gameplay, the obvious nostalgia factor, the John St. John voice acting, and the fact that he ad-libbed a lot of these, that's where it's going to get a lot of its points. However, I did find it very, very boring to play again, and that's the part I struggled with the most to actually get into it. Like, I tried to play it every day, and I did get stuck on some parts, so that kind of didn't help either, but I don't know. I'm going to give this game a solid 7 out of 10 because it does deserve the higher score because it did really do a lot for gaming back in the 90s. But at the same time, I'm not feeling it as much as I did as a kid. Even the humor is not as funny as it was because I guess I've grown or something. I can't tell you why. So yeah, that's my score, is a good solid 7 out of 10.
Alrighty. Nicely done. Sam,
Wow.
let us have it.
Make me feel completely juvenile. Oh, the humor doesn't hold up anymore because I've become sophisticated.
No. I don't know what you're talking about.
Sam,
Yeah.
Sam, boobies.
Oh man. Yeah, I think Brian nailed it. Like, you don't necessarily go seeking this game out or games like it unless you really are into that genre, as a hobbyist, I guess. Like, it's got its own, we call these boomer shooters now, and there are others like it that try to, go back and capture that magic, or I guess play to that niche. But I don't know. This one's a special one though. I think it did a lot to advance the genre. They called it the Doom Killer for a reason. The 3D was great. I mean, you can actually, if you play modern versions of it, you can swap back and forth between the up-resed version and the original, which you can really tell, 3D has come a long way even since this first came out. Like, the perspectives are completely off when you play it in the old version. But it was pretty nuts at the time to take the concept of the first person shooter and then be able to kind of like look around and aim was pretty revolutionary. What else do I got? I don't know. I still love it. I'll play it again, I'm sure, at some point. I love that it's on everything, so it's not one of those games that's locked away forever in your memory. You can go and check it out. I might give it a little bit more of a nostalgia bump than Brian did. I'm going to give it a 7.5. I really do think it is an important game, and I don't know that it really gets the level of credit that I think it deserves for revolutionizing the first-person shooter genre. I think Quake or Quake 2 get that accolade a little bit more. It's like Doom and then Quake, but I think people gloss over Duke Nukem 3D. 7.5.
Nice one. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm not going to gloss over Duke Nukem 3D because I've never played Quake. And this is kind of in that trifecta of these first-person boomer shooters that I did actually play back in the day. I mean, it's not as good as my beloved Doom. And if you're interested, the third is Blood. I don't know if anyone ever played Blood. If you haven't, look it up. It's basically the same game, but my God, it's funky. It's just a wonderful snapshot of where we were as a society. I think in the 90s, everything was kind of that action hero edginess. I don't miss the sexism. Obviously, and that's one of the reasons why a game like this I don't think will get made today, and with good reason. But we loved the gore, we loved the gross out, and all of that good stuff. And Duke Nukem 3D had all of that. I mean, again, it is best to play it on a PC. You know, my experience on PlayStation was not necessarily as good as I remember. I would like to speak to some of the extra levels that you got, because I did try and dabble with some of the bonus PlayStation levels, and that's quite fun because every level is kind of based on a different PlayStation franchise. You've got a Tomb Raider level, a Resident Evil level. I can't remember what other levels are there, but you know, there were a few of them. I didn't get a chance to play through all of them, but you know, that's a neat little touch. But I don't know, looks as you'd expect of the time, and you know, even pretty good for the time, I'd say. There's so much attention to detail and secrets and replay value and just all sorts going on in there. I've got a lot of nostalgic love for Duke Nukem, and honestly, I thoroughly enjoyed playing it again, and I probably will do someday down the line. Yeah, I think I'm going to agree with you, Sam. I think I'm going to go for a 7.5 as well. Probably the lesser of the three games that I've just listed out there, but still a banger in its own right. So there you go.
Hell yeah.
And that's going to do it. That's going to do it for another episode of Retrotopia. We're going to wrap things up now before our man Brian there turns into the Hulk.
It's getting close.
Because it's getting on now, and our man there is hungry. Guys, thanks very much once again. Anything else you want to say?
No.
Nah.
I mean, no. Well,
I just want
guys,
to eat.
much
All I
better.
can do is smell my
much
wife's
better.
cooking, and it's driving me nuts.
I can smell it from
guys,
here too.
it's
I'll wash it.
delicious. Guys, thanks for listening. Tune in to Retrotopia every Sundays wherever you get your podcasts, because that's all we do. We podcast and chew bubblegum, and we're all out of gum.
Annoying little bastards.